So Elon Musk said something yesterday about Tesla running inference on their computers for Grok. So basically, yeah, that actually means that when someone asks a question, then the question will be get sent to the Tesla computer, to like a random Tesla, and the Tesla will answer that and send it back, provided that Tesla computers can run the model, which basically means, if it's strong enough and if it's like the right type of architecture. So, some things use a GPU and some things use a CPU. So, it just runs differently. So if the Teslas have GPUs, some of them, but, and they have AI computers. So depending on if the Tesla's AI computer can run the AI model for Grok, then they will be able to answer questions because they're only going to be used 1/3% of the week, 1/3 of the week, and the other 2/3 can be used for inference. And he says like SETI, which is basically, I guess they scan. I don't know what happens, but I think they scan like the world for some sort of light waves, and they just run it on everybody's computers. You could sign your computer up to be used for SETI, and when your computer's not being used, then it'll like run calculations to like see if life's in the universe or something like that. But basically, the same way that you can give up your computer when you're not using it to run calculations to find extra stress for your life is the same way you'd be able to sign your Tesla up for being used to answer people's questions, to run the computer, the model to answer people's questions for Grok. What else? And so everyone's wondering what Grok means. So Grok apparently comes from this book, Stranger in a Strange Land, which is Montesiao lyrics, which is pretty cool. And it's basically, it means that the observer becomes part of the observed, so that they're so merged that like with the understanding and the knowledge of something that they basically become part of the knowledge. They just understand it so well that they just morph into like this piece of, like when your friend like just never talks about something that like he's so hype about something that he just never stops talking about it, that you're wondering like maybe he's a robot that just like is like there to like tell everyone about it. So like I'm sometimes like that. So that's what the word Grok means in this book. Also, just now, actually, just a few minutes ago, XAI announced something called a PromptIDE, which basically it's so when you ask a large language model, it's basically like this really dumb like little kid, but they have all the information of the universe. So if you say, hey, how do I like fix this outlet in my house, it'll give you the perspective from everyone, like, oh, just generally. But if you say, hey, how would a home, a self builder or a construction guy build an outlet, it'll tell you from a construction person's point of view, which is much more detailed and much better. If you say, hey, how would a doctor change an outlet, then it'll give you from that perspective, which isn't as in detailed and as useful for what you're using. And so what this PromptIDE is, it's this it's like this web page, I guess, this interactive page that you prompt the model. So you write in a prompt, like a pre-prompt, and what it'll do is it'll light up, it'll show you which parts of the model that activates so that you can create the best prompt or pre-prompt for the question or the style of questions you have. We see the Meta AI, that when you click a new channel on WhatsApp, you have all these new different AIs that you can ask questions to, and they're all the same AI, just some of them are, hey, answer me from like a cook's perspective, answer me from a traveler's perspective, ask me from like a video game player's perspective. And they're all just different pre-prompts. And so basically what this is that it's allowing everyone, they're opening up for everyone to use this it's like this interactive tool that you can pre-prompt it, and it'll show you which parts of the model are being triggered or lit up when you ask it that question. So when you want to change an outlet, you want to give the best prompt, not from a doctor's perspective or from like a skydiver's perspective, but from, a construction worker's perspective, and also maybe even from someone who works at Home Depot's perspective, or or an artist's perspective. And so that is what this prompt IDE does, is it shows you, how your prompts affect the answers that you give. It shows you it. This way, when you ask Grok a question, it'll give you the answer that you're looking for without you having to do the prompts. Like, oh, pretend you're a professional doctor and answer this question. Like, we just want to ask the question. We don't have to have that whole pre-prompt thing. So that's the point of this prompt IDE, and it's going to be a very powerful tool, and everyone's very excited about it because we don't know that much about large language models yet, even though we use them all the time. So we're still learning how to make the best, give the best answer, because it has a lot of information that we, just don't know how to access because we don't know how to pre-prompt it well enough. I mean, some people know how to access it. It takes a lot of training, but the point is so that everybody can use, everyone can get the perfect answer that they're looking for with the least amount of, pre-prompting or prompting, by themselves. It should all be done on the developer side. So that's the point of this tool. They actually used it for developers to make a good pre-prompt, and now they're giving it out to everyone. Thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.